Good evening from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Friday, February the 12th market update. On the economic front, we had the monthly retail sales. They came in at 0.5% and 0.6% ex autos. Those numbers were in line. We had the EIA petroleum status report, which showed a build in oil inventories by 2.42 million barrels. And nat gas showed a drawdown of 191 billion cubic feet. Consumer sentiment came in at 73.7, which was a little weaker than the consensus at 75. And the Treasury budget data actually has been moved to next Wednesday for release, I guess because of the bad weather in Washington, D.C. area and a lot of the other part of the country right now as well. So on deck for Tuesday, we're going to have, remember Monday is President's Day holiday, markets closed. So Tuesday we're going to have the Treasury, International Capital, and Housing Market Index data. So the dollar was up a little bit today. Gold, silver, copper, and oil were all down. So let's look at the UUP as we always do. We're still stuck right here. And, we're getting rejected up here in this area. Let's go here. So here was our high. Haven't been able to take it out. We're getting rejected around this area here, which is 2375 or so. And I'm looking at which doesn't always work, but I was looking at the MACD histogram here, and it looks like as the dollar's been going up, the MACD here was a high here, and we're going up higher, and then the MACD's a little lower here, the MACD's a little lower here, but yet we're here, so. It doesn't always work, but I'm thinking the dollar might actually get weaker in the next week. So I'm kind of have a lean to a little bit bullish next week, at least for a few days. So we'll see if that works out. It always depends on news, but we'll see. So it actually might be showing that we can always go higher before we go lower. That dollar's probably going to pull back at some point. So let's keep an eye on that. Light sweet crude futures were down $1.15 to settle at $74.13 a barrel. Let's go take a quick look at the point and figure chart for West Texas Intermediate crude. And we really haven't gone anywhere. We're still on a sell signal. And we're still in a box of X's because we haven't had a 3-box reversal to put us in a column of O's. And so there's really no change here. We're stuck right here kind of in the middle of this chart. Let's go back over to take a look at the Dow. So the Dow closed down 45 points to 10,099. S&P closed down 2 points to 1,075. The NASDAQ actually closed up 6 points to 2183, and Russell closed up 5 points to 610. They were definitely buying tech today, and the Russell's been strong now for several days, so they're buying small caps as well. So the Russell had the largest percent gain again today, up 0.87%. The Dow was the weakest, down 0.44%. So if we look here and we're stuck here and we've got this resistance around 10,150 on the Dow, but I was looking at the histogram and it's the same. It's getting better as we're going up. So I'm thinking, I think we might have a little uppage here, and I don't know if it's real short term and we're going to roll back over. We're going to get back to 10,300. Not sure where, but we have broke the downtrend line here. We did that yesterday, and we were sold off pretty good today, and we pulled all the way back up. So we'll watch, but it looks like we could have a little more upside coming. Let's look at the SPX. Looks the same way. The MACD histogram's looking the same way. That actually, as we're falling, the MACD is actually going higher, which is bullish. And we'll see if this plays out. So we still have this resistance around this 1,080 on the S&P. Haven't been able to take it out either. Let's go look at the XLF. XLF's the same way. I'm actually thinking that maybe next week we're going to get the financials have really lagged this week, and I'm thinking we might get a pop in the financials next week. So watch the banks real close because I'm thinking we might get a little pop here. The MACD again is doing the same thing on them. And if you look at the XLF, actually I think it's got a little triangle working, and it's holding this area really well, even though it's got this major resistance at 14. So if we can overcome that, then I think we might get a little, at least a little short-term pop in the financials. And let's look at gold. Gold to me looked like it's in this kind of, or at least on the GLDs in this wedge, and I'm not sure it's stuck right here. Not sure if it's going higher or lower, but I think it may go a little higher. Silver's been weaker. It's just stuck right around this, 15 to 1550. It's not really, it definitely looks weaker. It doesn't look all that great, but it looks okay. Let's look at the VIX. VIX down 5%. This thing was all over this. It was as high as 25.54 today, way up here. And then we got down low at 22.73, and we closed on the low for the VIX, which is actually pretty bullish as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's go and look at the McClellan. We've been following the oscillator. So around 0 is flat, neutral, and we're about there. We got close to there yesterday. We're actually 1.39, so we're kind of in the middle. We can go up or down from here. We're not, this would be overbought up here, and of course oversold down here. So, I'm pretty neutral right now. I still have this kind of a lean to go a little higher. We'll see how that works out. Let's go look at the sectors. 7 of the 16 sectors to follow finished in the green today. Biotech index was the largest percent gainer, up 1.11%. The bank index was the weakest again today, down 0.84%. And so let's talk about that real quick. I've noticed this, and now that banks been in weeks for a couple of days, well, it seems like to me the institutions, these are the ones they go after. Whatever's been down and they can get the cheapest is what they go after. So I'm expecting this to move back up into here sometime in the next week, and I could be wrong, but that's what, I'll be watching that because I think it will. I think we'll wind up and see this back on top at least for a couple of days. So we'll keep an eye on the banks. And of course, there is no chart watch for today because on Fridays I don't do any chart watch because I'm getting ready. We'll be posting the weekly watch list. So since Monday's a holiday, I'll have the watch list out either Sunday evening. I may even not have it out till Monday morning. It'll be one or the other. So if you're watching for that, that's when it'll be out. Let's go look at the point and figure charts here on the indices. So look at the we look at the point and figure charts on the Dow, Nasdaq, and S&P. Dow and Nasdaq are still on sell signals. S&P still on a buy signal. And let's go look at these because of the chart's been up and down the last couple of weeks or a couple of days. Could have made so here's the point and figure on the Dow. Now you notice here it's changed. So now, because we've made another couple of columns here, the Dow can go back on a buy signal at 10,200. So we're only about 100 points away from that. So when we take out this prior column of X's, which would be right here, 10,200, we'll go back on a buy signal on Dow. So we're not that far off. So we'll be watching to see if the Dow can go back on a buy signal. Let's look at the Nasdaq. And the Nasdaq doesn't have that much further to go either. So the Nasdaq, when it takes out this column, prior column of X is there. So at 2,200, the Nasdaq will go back on a buy signal. So that would put the S&P, the Nasdaq, and the Dow all back on buy signals. So we'll be watching that real closely into next week. And that is it for today. Have a great weekend. And again, watch for the weekly watch list out this weekend. Thanks. Bye.